Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Oppo Preview. My name is Dan Clubb. I'm delighted to be joined by former Bournemouth winger, made a lot of appearances for Bournemouth this man, Marc Pugh. How are we, UK?
I'm really well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, mate. All good. Massively appreciate you joining me for this one. Off on your travels, I believe, all around the country at the minute.
Yeah, here, there, and everywhere. Just trying to inspire the younger generation to improve the nutrition, the health, and most importantly, routine and habits. What you do off the field does transfer onto the field, and that's why, you see the top athletes they live the life right, and then they're performing at the highest level.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I must admit, I've been following your Instagram personally, and there's a Redmen account for a little bit of time now, and I love what you do because I love food ultimately. I try and eat as healthy as possible, so yeah, I'm a big fan. Let's dive into it then. Bournemouth, as mentioned, against Liverpool this weekend, of course. The form of Bournemouth has been nothing short of remarkable. Like you must be having the time of your life watching them play football at the minute.
It's absolutely incredible because you look all over the field, they look solid at the back, whereas previous years, we've been a little bit open and, that transition was not quite where it should have been. But, and then, on the counter attack, pace, Cliver, you've got Semenyo, up front, they've had injuries as well, a lot of injuries, but, Otter has come in and, got an hat-trick last week and, absolutely incredible. It's great to watch, and they're robust all over the field as well. They've got lads that want to work hard. Christian midfield just never stops running, and Lewis Cook, who he's a great midfielder, but he's slotted in at right back absolutely brilliantly.
No, absolutely he has, yeah. And it's been, listen, let's not sort of beat around the bush. The job Andoni Iraola has done since he arrived has been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Like, obviously, appointed by Richard Hughes, who's now in situ at Liverpool, of course, as sporting director. But that looks like an absolute masterstroke. It looked good to begin with, a bit of a very shaky immediate start, and then improved thereafter. But as again, the results of this season and where you are in the league this season, just absolutely superb.
Yeah, I don't know where you usually pulled that one from, but Ariola's done absolutely brilliant. I mean, first time I didn't really speak to him the first time I ever met him. I was down there, and he just seemed like a really laid back character. I watched one of the sessions, and it was pre-season at the time, and I was thinking he seems too laid back for pre-season here, but he just let the lads, express themselves, and let the coaching do. The coaches Tommy Elphick and Sean Cooper, who I played with, they've gone in there, done a great job, and yeah, I mean, great bit of recruitment, and I just think they're going from strength to strength because it's really difficult when you lose a player of Solanke's caliber, scoring a lot of goals from to replace them. But no, they've done a great job, and fair play to them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you speak about replacing Solanke there, but he's had to deal with a little bit of adversity in recent weeks in terms of the injury front as well. Obviously, lost both centre forwards, the two that were brought in, certainly in Evan Nilsson's case, to replace Dominic Solanke. They got injuries across the entire pitch, and that makes what he's been able to do all the more impressive because Sinisterra has been missing, Senesi's been missing, and he just hasn't batted an eyelid. He just took it in his stride and continued to pick up results. It's just a remarkable few months it's been for Bournemouth. In terms of the key players, Mark, you mentioned a couple a moment ago. Obviously, Semenyo's been a standout. I really like Milos Kerkez as well, but I imagine the list goes on in terms of Bournemouth standout performers this season. But I imagine the likes of David Brooks, Cliver, as you mentioned, Utara, are the sort of people that get your juices flowing given where they play.
Yeah, I think you always look at the attacking players, but you mentioned Kirk is there. He's got everything. He's up and down, assist, defensively excellent, and been one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League. I don't think I'm going, blowing his up it's the trumpet too. He's been up there. And like I say, Dango Otterer, he went to up front. I think he's played fullback. I think he's played right wing, left wing, and they've stuck him up front and he bagged that trick last week. So it's a real team effort, and that's what Eddie Howe was so good at. He was managing his players who weren't playing. So the lads that haven't been playing for long periods, you mentioned there's been a lot of injuries. For them to come in and be fit and be ready to play, I think is testament to the way he does things, the manager. You look at the players that have spent large periods not playing, a bad injury for Evanuelson, and they've just come in like and we say ducks out to water, but it's ducks in water in this occasion. And yeah, really impressed with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been seamless, hasn't it? And again, nothing seems to have shaken them because, as you mentioned a moment ago, losing somebody as integral as Dom Solanke, a lot of people might have looked at that and gone, okay, is that the end of Bournemouth sort of punching above their weight? But it's been the absolute opposite. They've actually managed to improve and get even better on the back of that. I want to talk about the Vitality Stadium, obviously not the biggest stadium in the Premier League, it's fair to say. You'll have enjoyed many, many a happy afternoon and night down there. But right now, it's going to be a great place to go and watch your football if you're a Bournemouth fan. And on Saturday, Liverpool coming to town, obviously leading the Premier League, qualified top of the Champions League. Like, as rocking as it can be, it's going to be rocking.
It is, yeah. I don't want to tempt fate, but you guaranteed goals at the Vitality, and it's the fans are right on top here. The atmosphere is great, even though they only get 11, 12,000 in that stadium. I used to love playing there, especially shooting towards the home fans. It really is rocking second half, especially, and I think we're in for a great game. Liverpool are in great form. I've been really impressed with the way Slot's done. Big shoes to fill for both, Slot and Areola with losing Eddie Howe and Jurgen Klopp. So just testament to the characters they are. I've been really impressed. But yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere, lots of goals hopefully, and I couldn't call this one. I really couldn't.
I'll ask you to in a minute. In terms of the goal situation, I make you right, by the way, because and that's just not because of the quality in the final thirds both teams possess, because both teams have got pretty solid defences as well. But you mentioned some of the names that Liverpool and Bournemouth have. You'd imagine there will be goals in this one. But the main reason I think there will be, and I'm pretty sure Andoni Iraola has already addressed this post last game, obviously, he's Nottingham Forest, a victory over them. He basically doesn't change the way he wants to play for anybody. And the way he wants to play is front footed, it's aggressive, it's quick in transition, it's trying to hurt teams. So I normally ask whoever I'm with at this point, how do you think he'll approach it? But we know the answer already.
Yeah, I think high press, and I think both teams will be high press. Will try and get a foot handle in the game. Liverpool are going to probably have a little bit more possession than Bournemouth, but I think Bournemouth will try and win the ball high up because I think they've got to affect the game quickly and stop Liverpool from getting it into the main men. You look at your Salahs of the world, and there's not one or two in that team. You've got a team full of world class players, so it's going to be a tough ask. But who knows? Football's football. It's 11 against 11, and anything can happen. We know that. The amount of times I'll probably hold my hands up a little bit. I've really worried for the season for Bournemouth, but I was proven wrong. And every game you look at, they beat some big teams this season. And yeah, hopefully it's Liverpool again this season.
Well, they've given the fair share of bloody noses out, let's put it like that, mate. Absolutely, they have. Yeah. And finally, then, I'm going to ask you, heart, head, however you feel applicable, Mark, how do you think it's going to go?
Um, I think I fancy a draw. I think either 1-1, 2-2. I think there'll be goals in it. It's either going to go that way or there'll be one in it. Three, it could be 3-2, it could be 4-3, it could be anything, to be honest. I mean, Liverpool are defensively fantastic, but I think we've got a real good game on our hands.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's going to be two, again, very positive, very attack-minded teams. I think maybe going hell for leather and toe-to-toe a little bit, which always makes for a good spectacle. Mainly for the neutral, perhaps a bit less for the fans of the two teams who are just absolutely on the edge of their seat, praying that we can come out on the right side of it. There's been a couple of games like that down the years between Bournemouth and Liverpool. And the way Bournemouth are playing right now, like I said, I don't take anything for granted heading into this one. Before I let you go, I always ask former players of opposition teams this. Did you enjoy playing against Liverpool at Anfield or at home? Like, were these the occasions that you have always banged up for?
Absolutely loved it. When I was a young kid, I spent a lot of time up until the age of 24, 25 in the lower leagues, League One, League Two. So I think it made me appreciate it even more. I wanted to test myself against the best players in the world. And the season we got promoted, Gerrard was still playing, and that team was, absolutely fantastic. Mane was there, and Firmino was in his prime. So playing against players like that was quality. Although at Anfield a few times we got a few hidings, which I can't say I enjoyed too much, but there's a few occasions where we run them close, and yeah, it was great environment to be in, and you've got to want to play against the best in the world. That's what it's all about.
That's what you do it for. That's what you put all the hours in for as a kid and you dream of, as you say. When you're whacking a ball against the wall outside your house, that's what it's all about. Absolutely, yeah. And I noticed you didn't get on the pitch, but you were involved in the squad in the 4-3 win down the Vitality as well. So I'm sure the celebrations after that one were quite something. Mark, top man, thanks so much for your time. Let people know where they can find your Instagram and the food and all that sort of stuff, buddy.
Yeah, cheers, pal. Yeah, the Foodie Footballer. I've got a website with loads of free recipes to try and help people, become the healthiest version of themselves. My Instagram, loads of cooking videos on high performance meals, high protein meals, and just it's avoiding the ultra processed foods. We know how, it affects you mentally, physically. So I just try and educate as many people as possible. I've written courses on it. I've written various things and I do online coaching. So yeah, I mean, it's finding your why after football. And yeah, I seem to have found that and I'm really enjoying life.
Yeah, and what a one it is as well. Like, yeah, it's absolutely nothing. I'm a big, big foodie and obviously a massive football fan. So, and also a semi-sportsman myself. So, yeah, happy days. I love that. Keep up the boss work, mate. Thanks again for your time. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care. I'll see you soon.